Welcome to the next episode of More to Me. As you all know, this is where I talk to interesting men and women who have left their conventional careers, their profession, and have pivoted to following their passion. Today, I have Ashish Chakravarty, and he has a wonderful story to tell. Welcome to More to Me, Ashish. Could you just begin with a little bit about your journey before you pivoted to following your passion?
Thank you, Kanchana, for having me over on this podcast, I would say, or interview. Uh, in fact, I have been in Hyderabad for the last, 52 years now. And my education has been in Hyderabad, and I've lived my life here apart from that year and a half in Kerala. I started with a company called Tata Info Media, which was into Yellow Pages. It was a publishing house, and then I worked there for a good long 10 years and then moved on to the Times Group for a short stint, and then World Space Satellite Radio, followed by Radio City, where I was heading the sales for Hyderabad and Vizag. And the last stint with my of my corporate career was with the Hindustan Times Group, where I had to launch their radio station here in Hyderabad. So actually, I wanted to start off something of my own at the age of 40, but
Mm,
then that's when this offer came, and I couldn't resist because this offer which came to me had a lot of challenges, and it is very nice to be working in a challenging atmosphere where you have to either launch or resurrect a brand or something like that. So that's where I took it up. And then after a good long 4 years, 10 months to be precise, I was offered to move to Delhi, and that's where I decided to hang my boots in the corporate career
mm,
and wanted to do something of my own, which was, of course, sports or maybe classical music. So
mm,
I chose sports here because that has been a dream of my father's, where he was a badminton player and he wanted to get into, coaching and setting up a training center for young children. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it, and from there I took it over, and I'm living his dream now.
wonderful.
So
And that's
that's a
when,
little.
and that's how you started the academy to teach children TT, table tennis.
Correct, correct. So the academy is ping pong
Yeah.
at Spars.
Okay.
Spars is nothing but a full form of the five friends who got together to, start this. It
Mm,
was a very casual chat we were having, and then all of them said it was a brilliant idea because we were all from different fields. None of us played table tennis ever. We were leisurely playing cricket and other sports, but
mm.
never table tennis. So that's the name of the academy we chose.
Wonderful. So Ashish, my first question to you is that, what did the world know you as, and what part of you did the outside world never see or acknowledge?
I am not very sure if the world knows me enough, I would say,
Mm,
because I've been into everything. I've been into classical music.
mm,
I've been a ardent classical music follower. I learned tabla for a good long 11 years during my school and college days, and I was very serious about it then. So I was into music. I was also playing any sport for that matter. Never had any choice of sport that this is the sport which attracts me more. Yeah, I played, of course, cricket, which everybody would have, and I
mm.
also played badminton. But
Okay.
name the sport, kabaddi or whatever, I played everything. So if people know me, probably they know me as a person who probably
Mm,
did a lot of service to uh, talent or whatever. In my corporate life, I picked and chose people who came from, districts specifically, or those who had that attitude to work. Because I was into sales, and sales is hardcore sales
mm,
I was in.
mm.
It is just not, working. It was a door-to-door sales I was in. I started
Yeah.
my career there.
So,
So I
mm,
always chose attitude over anything else for that
mm.
matter.
I can understand that sports and music has always been a large part of your life, and others around you were always aware of the fact that these are your passion, these are your passionate hobbies. So, when is it that, and you also mentioned that you've nurtured the dream of doing something in music or sports. So, when did that moment arrive when you made that switch or you realize that there has to be more to me in my life than just the job that I'm doing?
So there was this instance which goes back during my school days whenever because my father was into sports and my mother also would watch the Olympics or the Asian Games, and she would encourage us to watch those over the television. So those days we used to crib and cry, and wherever in the society or in the school that India cannot do anything. We are not such a huge nation with this kind of population. We are not there anywhere close to winning a medal. So when
Hmm.
I joined the band, even I used to do that. But then by the time I reached my eighth or ninth standard, probably it started poking me and pinching me because what is my contribution in the whole game? I am not there. I'm just sitting on the sidelines and cribbing. So
Hmm.
that stayed in my mind for a very long time. And then when I had to choose on what I should do, that's when I said, okay, let me, at least start getting into sports and start nurturing and training children and encouraging parents to send their children to play some sport.
Hmm.
Physical literacy these days is
Yeah.
vanished almost in
Hmm.
most schools also, you see, right? So getting children out to play a sport has become a little challenging these days because everybody lives in a very closed
Yeah,
circuit, and then everybody's busy with their own gadgets. So that's where
absolutely.
I thought this is something which would probably be of some service to the society, and at the same time, I would also live my dream of doing something or adding value in whatever little way I can.
So, when you made the switch, and I'm sure this was not an easy decision to come to, because leaving a very steady, well-paying job, which was kind of your part of your life for so many years, which was your life for so many years. So when you decided to make the switch, how did people around you react when you told them that I'm leaving this fabulous job and I'm going to open a TT academy for kids? So what was the reaction like?
So I was known as a very passionate person in my sales career. I have taken a lot of risks then as well,
Hmm.
so that continued, and they were not shocked. People who are close to me, they were not shocked with this decision of mine, but they were concerned. They certainly put in a few words here and there saying, think it over again. Why do you want to let go everything and then, just start something else
Hmm.
at this age at least, if you were maybe around 30, you could have experimented and then gotten back to corporate life to, if that didn't work. But at this age, why do you want to do it?
Hmm.
But I wanted to try, I call myself a mad guy actually. Or in Bengali, I call myself Pagla Bangali. So that's how I am. I love
Yeah,
taking risks. It's okay if if you lose also, it's perfectly fine. That teaches you a lot of
of
lessons, I feel.
course, of
So
course, of course. Do you miss anything about your steady job now that you've given it up? Is there something that you miss?
I do. I'll be very honest with you. I do because the media sales and marketing career was a very nice one. It had a lot of glamour as well,
Hmm.
right? So I miss those get-togethers and I miss those friends over there. The travel, for those meetings. I miss that.
Hmm.
No, I wouldn't lie on that. I miss that. But then, yeah, I need to convince myself that this is a greater cause I got into,
Hmm.
and then I need to steadily get going with what I decided to do.
After you pivoted and after you changed over, was it difficult telling people, like, I mean, this is a very standard question people ask when they meet each other. So what do you do? So, what was it difficult? So earlier, it must have been easier to, kind of answer the question, what do you do? So now, did you face any hesitation or any difficulty in answering the question? So what do you do?
Not really.
Hmm.
Not really, not really. In fact, whenever I answered to that question, I was appreciated a lot by those who asked me that question because
Hmm.
I had to see, you need to convince them about what
Yeah.
you're doing. So I convinced them about what I'm doing, and I thought I was convincing enough. Being a salesperson, I should be able to do that much at least.
Hmm.
So there was no. It's a very simple story. It's very very simple. I quit my job to pursue my passion. That's it. Which anybody would want to do. Only thing is the difference is they should take that risk of doing it. I
Absolutely.
have taken that risk of doing it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Actually, you are in a very enviable position. Most people, as you rightly said, they would love to give it all up and chase their passion, but they are unable to take the risk for whatever reasons. And I think the most important reason, of course, money is a very important reason, but other than that, it's the mindset that we have blocked ourselves in, that at a
Absolutely.
steady, like leaving a steady job and doing something so different as starting a sports academy or something else is very unsettling to our minds. So these things, yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. What changed about yourself, or like when you decided to do this, and like how long has this academy been running?
So this is almost 6 years now. We started at the wrong time, I would say, 2020 Jan, and then
Okay.
March COVID happened.
Ah.
So we suffered because of that. I'm sure everybody did for those
Hmm.
2 years. We had to shut shop, and then,
Ah.
it just started and we closed down. So we had to manage the rents and stuff like that, the salaries as well
Hmm.
during that time. So it's been 6 years. So technically, I would say 4 years now if I minus those 6 years.
Ah.
So these 4 years, we've been running this. We have two academies, in fact, here, and both of them are running steadily with
Okay.
professional coaches and close to around 40, 45 children.
Hmm.
So I would say the coaches are doing a great job. I'm just the facilitator there. So
No, but
that's
obviously
all.
you've created the platform for the children and for the coaches to come together. So of course. So what would you say has changed about you, or how do you or do you feel some change has come over you after you decided to pursue your passion?
A lot, because 25 years in sales, where, sales is a very, very typically different career. I was in hardcore sales,
Hmm.
right? So it is like you've done 120% this month, you forget it, and then you move on to the next month. What you
Hmm.
have done today is history, and what you're going to do tomorrow is what you need to focus on. So that was the pace I worked in for 25 years. I was wired that way,
Hmm.
right? But here, when we pick up children who are 5, 6, 7 years old, 8 years old,
Hmm.
you need to be very, 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 very patient with them throughout their journey and not expect them to do wonders when they start in those 1, 2, 3 years,
Hmm.
right? So, I have gained a lot of patience, I would say. I've become a saint now, I can say, partial saint, right? So I sit on the sidelines and then watch the children
Hmm.
train. I encourage them. At times, out of anger, probably once in a while, I scold them as well.
Hmm.
Uh, and yeah, I've become very patient since then, because from this age till they reach they go through the complete grind, which
Yeah.
is under 15, under 13 or 17, 19, and
Hmm.
then men or women. We need to be patiently be there with them, facilitating with whatever requirements they have to play better.
Of course. So, like, how many
So,
kids do you have in the academy, and what are some of the milestones, if you can share?
so
Have
we have around 45 children,
Hmm.
out of which we have adopted eight underprivileged children from a lesser privileged backgrounds. We just randomly, it actually happened. There was no plan to do so. It so happened that one boy came to our doorstep and then he was watching the other kids play. So the first day we let him watch, and the second day we let him watch. The third day we called him inside and then asked him if he would be interested in playing. So, or if he had played any sport. So he replied back saying, yeah, he used to be playing football randomly, but never in a professional atmosphere. So that's where he came in. And from there, we thought it was a good idea to give these children an opportunity as well, because they have a lot of vigor in them, you
Hmm.
know. They're very different from probably the other children. They have a lot of vigor. They have that vigor in them to prove a point as well.
Hmm.
So, and likewise, we have eight such children here. And the milestones, if you ask me, within a short period of time, a few of these children from the underprivileged background, two of these children have been representing Telangana at the national level for the last 2 years,
Hmm.
right? And apart from that, we have other children who are ranked in the top one or two, slots in their respective events or category. So all credit goes to the children, their parents, and the coaches, of course, because they are the ones who've been going through the complete grind. And my job is at times to just pull back the parents and then make them understand that you need to give them some time. You need to
Of
give them
course.
the children time. Don't hurry up. Don't get, don't pass on your anxiety to the children.
Hmm.
So that's about it. And we have quite a few, children who have been doing well at the state level. And of course, yeah, not last year, before that year, we had one of our student won a bronze in the singles event in under 13 girls category in the national level, and also a doubles medal, bronze, that is, at the national level.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. That's really commendable. So, like, I mean, one of the reasons why, why I started this series is because there is, we are kind of already at the cusp of a very different, a huge disruption which is going to come into our lives. AI is already
Correct.
there. Right now, it's still a toy that we are playing with and we are excited about and stuff like that. Though, it has started disrupting the corporate world in very small way, but going ahead there is going to be a huge upheaval, and
Right.
and that is undeniable. I'm not trying to be a doomsayer here. I'm not trying to be an alarmist, but this is happening and there is no way that
Right.
this genie is getting back into the bottle. So the reason why I'm having this conversation and I'm started this is because I have seen, and I have seen other people, and I've had this feeling that people identify only with their jobs, but the job
True.
is only a role you play. So there
True.
has to be. So what is your take on this? People, when a person is asked to what do you do, and the person instinctively replies with his designation, but we never. What will happen if that designation is not there? Does that mean you don't have any identity? So what is? I want to know what is your take on this.
So there's an interesting story here I would like to narrate. There was one of my friends, one of my father's friend who visited us when I was in my school days, and he stayed with us for 2 days. So he, noticed that I used to wake up at 4 in the morning to practice my tabla when I was learning music. So he heard me twice for 2 consecutive days, and then the third day he asked me, and he realized probably that I was not sure about what I was doing, whether it was right or wrong. So he asked me, how many students do you have in your class? How many,
Mm,
classmates do you have? I said 65 was our strength. So
mm,
then he asked me, how many play tabla or how many are into professional music?
mm,
I said, none apart from me. So he said, you're different. So that one sentence, which, that one statement made a lot of difference in me. That gave me a lot of confidence.
mm.
Maths, physics, chemistry, social, sabhi pad raha hai. But then I was also learning music there, and that gave
Absolutely.
me a lot of confidence, right?
Absolutely.
So I keep telling everybody the same thing, that pick something which you like doing and then nurture that habit.
Mm, mm,
While I was an employee in a corporate world, I also used to identify myself as a badminton player. Though it was a leisure, at leisure I used to play, not at a professional level, but I used to boast about my badminton, practice and stuff like that.
mm,
I used to boast about my tabla or music for that matter. So identifying yourself just with your job, which means you're not doing enough otherwise. I
mm.
think we should start doing something otherwise also, because job is not everything.
True. Absolutely.
Job keeps your kitchen on, but
Yeah,
otherwise apart from that we don't live there.
exactly.
We are just
Exactly.
machines working there
Absolutely.
as told.
So, if someone watching this video is contemplating following their passion and wants to charter, the path like you have, what would your advice be to that person?
Be ready to take that risk. Be ready to bite the bullet. It's not
Hmm.
an easy journey. It's not very, it looks all hunky-dory from there, but then it is not. It is going to be challenging and it is
Hmm.
fun. So that's it, I would say. I've told this to a couple of other people also, and also choose something which you have never done in your career. For
Yeah.
example, if you have worked in an X field for say 20-25 years, generally in advertising people would want to get into an business, and they would start an ad agency,
Hmm.
right? I would say chuck all that, leave all that, start something which you have never done.
Yeah.
Right. So then again, you go back 20-25 years, you become much younger. You have that urge to learn, adapt, right? So your mind gets much more younger that ways. For me,
Absolutely.
table tennis was, I knew nothing about table tennis.
Hmm.
And I started, pushing myself to learn first to understand what is the game about. I
Hmm.
didn't even know that Calcutta or Bengal was the hub of table tennis, and Tamil
Oh.
Nadu is also doing well, and there are other states as well. I didn't know the challenges table tennis had as well. So I got to learn. So I go back to my first standard again, you know.
Hmm.
So that
How
keeps you
interesting.
young as well.
Okay. Of course. Well said. So now to the last question, I want you to complete this sentence for me. There is
Okay.
more to me because.
There's more to me because I'm still alive and I would want to live my life,
Hmm. And
if
as you
that's
rightly
okay.
said that, I mean, physics, chemistry, biology, तो सभी पढ़ते हैं. Do something
Exactly.
different. Yeah, do something different.
Exactly. लिव योर लाइफ,
Yeah.
घुट घुट के कब तक जिएंगे, मतलब
Hmm.
मेरा शौक कुछ और है. आई हैव इंटरव्यूड सो मेनी यंग स्टूडेंट्स हु हैव डन देयर इंजीनियरिंग एंड देन मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग कर लेते हैं, एंड देन दे कम टू सेल समथिंग, स्पेस और टाइम और व्हाटएवर. क्यों किया इंजीनियरिंग? नहीं, पापा ने बोला था. तो उन्हें पापा का, ठीक है, पापा ने अपने हिसाब से बोला था, पर अपना भी तो
हाँ.
लगाओ.
अपना
यू
भी
ऑल्सो
दिमाग लगाओ. Exactly.
दिमाग लगाओ, एंड देन आई एम श्योर एवरीबडी हैज देयर ओन इंटरेस्ट. ट्राई
Absolutely.
इट आउट एटलीस्ट.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And we
Don't
kind
give
of
up.
we lose our passions and hobbies along the way because we get so kind of caught up with that box that we are placed into, and we also want to get placed into that box because it
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, because
prestigious to be there. It is, it's a very known path.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I have no regrets about what I've done. See, selling was never my cup of tea. I never thought I would get into sales, but I got into sales. I did that happily for 25 years.
Hmm.
Before getting in there, I was not very sure if I could sell, but I happily did that. I've led teams. I have, launched brands,
Yeah.
right? I've done that happily. So enjoy your life, but at the same time, while you're doing that, you have your passion also going, so that keeps
Absolutely.
you alive.
Great. So, with that, we come to the end of today's episode and look forward to many more conversations with other people who have pivoted and traveled a similar journey like Ashish. Thank you. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you. Thank you, Kanchana, and all the best to you for
Thanks.
this.